Hello everyone, my name is Retrodan, and today I thought of an interesting idea for a video where I will take you guys through a daily routine of a Warframe player who is only Mastery rank 14, which is kind of mid-game, and a lot of you can probably relate to this, since I'm guessing not everyone who watches these videos is a high rank Warframe player or anything like that. So the thing I like doing first is logging in and seeing if I have a useful daily login bonus, and by useful I mean that 75% platinum discount so I can swipe my card and get more platinum. And the use for that platinum will come in the end of this video, so stay tuned. Right after that, I go and check the sortie to see if there's anything quick and worth doing, and I check the invasions to see if there are any up invasions that are useful to get materials to craft dojo weapons or get materials for specific weapons that only come from invasions. If it's still early morning and I haven't woke up late, there might be some time to complete a quest, and since I'm still early in the game and I'm up to the story beats, but there are still quests I need to complete, and if I have time I will go complete 1 or 2 quests per day. After that I start farming for a Warframe I still don't have, since I need to work on my codex to eventually get out of Mastery rank 14. So I check the list for Warframes that don't have a prime variant, and then I try to farm them a little bit before going to do other stuff. Right now I'm farming Jade, which is on the Brutus mission on Neptune, and they are like 10 to 15 minute missions which you do very simple stuff, and their weapons drop and their Warframe parts drop as well, and it also has some arcanes, so I take some time out of my day to work on Warframe farming and everything that it entails, depending on the Warframe that I will be currently farming. Right after that I like to open some relics, because I tend to always work through my relics to see if I can get a stash of prime parts for 2 reasons. One, to craft the things that I don't have so I can also work on my codex and start getting those prime weapons out of the way, eventually leveled, and the second one is if Barockateer is near, I try to stack up as many repeated parts as I can to eventually trade them for ducats and buy stuff from Barockateer whenever he comes. After that I like to check my arsenal and look at Overframe and YouTube videos so I can see what builds I need to work on, and check my mods. If I'm missing some mods I might buy some, and then I check the weapons I already have leveled and see which ones would I want to level next, and maybe spend some money and resources on building them and making them stronger for future endeavors. So that's what I do after farming relics, and my Warframe is get things ready so I can farm even more stuff. As you can imagine, as an MR14 player, it's very hard to have maxed out rank 10 mods, so when it comes to that, I farm the weekly Ayatan treasure. I'm not sure if it's a weekly or a daily, but I tend to farm it from times to times, so I can get some endo on my side to eventually level up all those expensive mods to the max, because, you know, we need those mods to eventually be dealing a lot of big number damage. Then right after that we get to a thing that I should have probably done earlier, but I'm still doing, which is doing arbitration runs for a galvanized mod. Now, galvanized mods, if you're not familiar with them, they unlock after you do every single quest node on the map, and you unlock these missions which drop this resource, which I'm not quite sure of the name yet and I don't want to make it up. So this is the arbitration resource, which then you can trade at the Arbiters of Exis for galvanized mods and other types of loot, but galvanized mods are the main thing to get out of them, because they are really useful mods you can use on your builds and you will most definitely be using for every build right now. One thing I'm going to add now to my routine is starting to do the Steel Path star chart, which comes after the arbitration star chart, which is a normal one and is harder and gets progressively harder, which requires you to have even better weapons. So I'm going to start working daily on the Steel Path star chart, which is going to prove really hard. So I also want to get some Incarnate weapons maybe, which I've not dig deep into, but I know they can be quite hard to get, but I'm really interested in seeing how to get them and how hard they can really be to get. After that, if I have some spare time, I might call a friend of mine who plays Warframe and we might just hang out, do some bounties either on Cetas or Fortuna or Deimos to get some reputation and maybe get those weapons and the things we still need from those reputations to eventually farm them out to the max. The last thing we tend to do at the end of the day when we're already very tired is, if we have an affinity booster, we run some Hydrons or some Elite Sanctuary Onslaughts to see if we can level our stuff up, so then we can eventually get an MR level at some point in the future. So this is not a complicated routine. It might look like it takes some time, but this routine can be separated throughout different parts of the day if I'm not recording videos or doing something else. But it's basically the variety of things that I like to do on a day-to-day. The days always don't look the same. There are even days in which I don't play Warframe, which right now is not the case since I've been playing every day. But this is what a normal Warframe day looks in general, unless we're doing something specific that day, like only opening relics for a day or something else. I'd love to see what all of you lower and higher ranked Warframe players do on a day-to-day basis. Maybe tell me about what you are doing for your fashion frame endeavors and what you are doing for your steel path builds. What are you farming? Are you LR rank? Are you still lower MR and you are having trouble farming or understanding what weapons you still want to get? You need recommendations for what Warframes, or maybe you just want to discuss what's your favorite Warframe down in the comments. Make sure you leave out something because I love reading your comments. Makes my day to see you guys are actually watching and want to communicate with me. But other than that, this has been the Retro Den, and I'm out.